The 15-Point Plan is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network.
Welcome back to another episode of the 15-Point Plan podcast. Just like that, Jacqueline, I just checked the laugh box just because it's the 15-Point Plan podcast. We are here to increase our energy, to reduce our stress, and sometimes just having that conversation, just jumping in and like pressing this record button with you, it makes me laugh because we're just having fun doing this. We are lightening the mood of life in this cute little coffee shop of our podcast room, and we are just having fun in doing this, right?
Yes, we are. And we were starting to have a conversation before this, and I said, Ryan, hit record. Let's have this conversation online. So this isn't like scripted, or we're not like here performing for you. We are literally talking through like what our goals are for 2026 together. And we're just inviting you to come along for the ride. And hopefully we will inspire you or help you think about one of your goals a little differently, or maybe to set a goal that you weren't otherwise going to set for 2026. So Ryan was telling me about his health goal for 2026, and that it is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And I want to ask all of us, the rest of us, besides Ryan, what are we doing with our life? That's a big goal.
It is a big goal because I think anybody can do that trek. It takes place over about a week, and it's a challenge for sure. But what the challenge is coming back down, sleeping for one night, and then attempting it to do that whole summit and descent in 24 hours or less. So that's the layer 2 to it. It's about 45 miles. It's about 16,000 feet of elevation. And we're going to attempt to do that. After doing it over 1 week, we're going to wake up and do it the next day in 24 hours or less. So that's a crazy goal.
Hang on here. Hang on. So I don't think I fully understood this before, because we've talked about this, but I think I'm just now grasping what you're doing.
Yeah.
You are doing it. You're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. You're going to take like a week, which is apparently like, just any Joe Blow could do that. You're saying like, it's not hard.
I do believe most humans could do that trek. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So that would be a week long. So you're like camping on the way, or is there like hotels?
There are no hotels. No.
Okay. That just took out a lot of people. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah. No, we carry our gear, and we have help carrying our gear. Of course, we have help carrying our gear.
What, like a llama or
Sherpas, like people. Yeah,
okay.
Guides. Sherpa might not be the right word, but I guess to summarize it all, Jacqueline, what makes it sound incredibly challenging is there's a phase 1 and there's a phase 2. Okay. Phase 1 is doing the trek over 1 week. And to put that into perspective, phase 2 is doing a similar trek. It's not the exact same one. It's a little bit different route. But phase 2 is doing what takes most people 1 week, doing it in 24 hours or less. Yeah.
I'm just like taking this all in. I didn't realize, I thought you were just doing it like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and I was already impressed. And I knew that you're doing something like, I thought maybe in a record time or something. So, okay. We are talking about Ryan climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in 1 week. And friends, there's no hotels on the mountain. So they are carrying you have guides that are helping you carry your gear. So they are impressive humans then. Let's talk about that for a second. If they're carrying your gear and you're not carrying gear, you're just going up, or you're carrying some and they're carrying some.
Yeah, let's be real here, Jacqueline. Like, the real heroes in this entire event are not just the people that are doing it. It's the people that are actually helping us with gear. So like, imagine this, like I get the luxury of waking up in the morning and grabbing my day pack and taking off. Then the real heroes are the local people there that will have set up camp for us. Then they will break down camp. Then they will actually go past us after we've taken off. They will go set up camp and have camp ready when we arrive. So No, there's no hotel, but it's like those are the real heroes here. We could not do this without them. And then when we do the 24-hour trek, we will each of us have a one-on-one guide to make sure that we're safe, to make sure that our gear is carried. So those guys are the real heroes, right? Like those guys are the real heroes.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And nobody has ever done this ascent and descent in 24 hours or less. So it is a world record attempt by a company that I cannot mention the name of. I found out on, but everybody knows like what this book is and what that looks like, but you can't say that name. So I can't be plugging that name on the podcast and saying that for two reasons. Number one, then somebody else might go try to do it. But number two, then I'd have to give them marketing credit.
Okay. So I just put this into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just put like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro over 1 week and then doing it again in less than 24 hours. And it says it's doable. This is not mine. It's doable, but it's a high risk, high logistics project. Altitude is the constraint, not necessarily distance. So it says that it's 19,341 feet.
Yeah.
And standard success rates climb are 7 to 8 day routes.
Yeah.
Just due to acclimation. So is that why you can do it faster the second time? Essentially, like your body's already acclimated to the altitude change?
That is the only way that it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only way that it's possible. I don't believe it would be physically, humanly possible.
Like you'd die.
I don't know that you would die, but I just don't know that your body could withstand that unless you were a local and lived at that elevation. So the way that it's possible is by doing it for the 1 week prior, and that will allow your body to acclimate. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm just picturing this whole thing happening. So you climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Like that just sounds cool. Like even if you don't know anything about it, which was me until just now when I just ChatGPT'd this. So you are climbing this mountain. I'm guessing you're going to be sore after the week-long excursion. Would you be like tired and sore, or is it just like a normal?
I think so. So I guess to put it in some perspective, like the week-long trip we're gonna go on average 4 to 8 miles a day. Like in my current state of health, I feel that I can almost do that like with no trouble, without any problems. That's why I really enjoyed this goal, because it's pushing me to a whole new level. And I think we talked about this on the last podcast of goal setting. Like I'm just done setting goals that are easy. I just don't want to be comfortable with those types of things any longer in my life. They're not going to push me. They're not going to push the people that are around me. And so this came up, and I didn't set out to do this by any means. I never had a goal to do a world record of this. The goal I've always wanted to climb this mountain. I'm fascinated by that area. I'm fascinated by the tallest freestanding mountain in the world and the tallest mountain on the continent of Africa and Tanzania. And I believe, like, historically with human beings, this is one of the areas where human beings as a species originated. So I've always been super fascinated by that area. But when I had the opportunity to do this as a double trip and set a world record, it literally frightens the hell out of me. And it made me think, oh my gosh, like what do I have to do that? And it's taken my training, which is the movement box and the nutrition box, to a whole nother level. And so last week, I went out, and to celebrate the anniversary of my father passing away, I decided to push myself, and I had this goal to do 20 miles on the trail. And I ended up doing 17 miles on the trail over like 4.5 hours, combination of running and hiking. And the funny part about that, Jacqueline, was I left my house at 8 a.m. I finished at 1 p.m. and I went to join my mom for lunch. And some like people were like, wait a minute, like you did all that and then went and had lunch with your mom? It's like, yeah, I just kept going. Now, I did bust up my ankle pretty well. I'm still recovering from that. But what I learned was I just did 17 miles in 4 hours. Now, the elevation was nowhere near the same, but I could have easily kept going. I only ate 2 out of my 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I had another PB&J on deck. I could have easily gone another 5 or 10 miles. And then I thought to myself, well, if I just did 17 miles, it's only 2 more of these to do that. Now, the elevation is much steeper and the altitude is much higher. But I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. This is a good test run.
Yeah. So, okay. So, a couple questions for you. What do you do to prepare for this elevation? Is there anything you do, or you're just training here and then you'll just like figure it out when you get there?
Yeah, so a lot of it is time on trail. Like with this
Okay.
type of thing, like it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of like that was a 4.5 hour day. Now that we are running out of daylight, I just went and re-upped a membership at the local gym because I have a gym at my house, but I don't have a treadmill and I don't have a treadmill that can do incline. So today I'll go take my rucksack, my 20-pound backpack, and I'll go do an hour on the 15% incline on the treadmill. So
Okay.
it's stuff like that, which like that just takes a lot of time. But then the other super interesting part, which I'd never even heard of this, you can basically rent what's called an altitude acclimatization kit. And 2 months out from this trip, I will have a kit that goes over my assault bike at the house, and I will be training in something that will simulate higher altitude. In other words, lower oxygen. And you can also get the same type of kit that goes over your bed, and you sleep in that.
So, are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, because I
How
just
much
don't
does it
want to.
cost? I need to know this. How much does it cost to rent said?
I don't know. I've looked around online, but none of that stuff really matters. And I think it goes back to the conversation of me and you talking last week about you saying something like, Phil wants to do all these sneaking marathons, and I don't want to do a marathon because we're going to build this house and we're going to do all these things. Like for me, it sounds weird saying this, but like cost or price is not an issue. This is a once in a lifetime experience. I
Yeah.
will work harder. I will do the things that are required for this cost so that I can ensure the success of a once in a lifetime experience. It's not more than a few $100 or maybe $1,000. So it's like
Okay.
there's a cost
So
to it. If you were to buy one, they're like 10 or
that's
20,000
yeah.
bucks. Yeah.
Okay, and I've also heard, well, first of all, if you are listening to this, um, we have a lot of real estate agents that listen to this, but anyone listening, if you know anyone in the Bellingham area that is going to buy or sell next year, you can support a world record setting realtor. I mean, I think you almost need to use this as like some marketing, Ryan. Like, who else can say world record setting realtor? I mean, that just sounds cool too. Like, but anyway, back to reality here, Jacqueline. So I've heard that there's some breathing exercises that you can do also to do like altitude training.
Yeah.
Do you do those too then?
I do. Yeah, that's been getting kind of interesting. Like, I do breath work, thankfully, already pretty much every morning of like breath work and inhales and exhales that force extra air into my lungs. But I've also been doing breath holds. So, like, I've
Mhm.
been pushing myself as far as how long I can hold my breath, which will hopefully train my lungs.
Mhm.
So, that's one thing that I've been doing also. But, you know, the
Is that
cool
what like
thing,
the Wim Hof? Is that like Wim Hof breathing?
yeah, like we call it breath of fire. Like, you can do it in and out your nose, you can do it in and out your mouth, you can combine the two. I sit in front of a what's called a Joovv, Joovv. It's an ultra infrared red light.
Mhm.
That's like one of my favorite ways to wake up in the morning is because that thing just blasts the next closest thing to sunlight onto you. I sit in front of that. It's a 10-minute timer, and I do it for that time frame. That's like the
I'm gonna ask for one of those for Christmas.
It's so good.
Sometime.
They are so it's that that infrared red light just feels really really good. And at this time of the year when it's dark and it's
Mhm.
dark when you wake up and it's dark when you go to bed, it's just a really good thing to have. Um, but yeah, so working on training my lungs, training my body, training my mind. Like one of my friends asked me because we were having the same conversation, and he was like, "Ryan, what do you think the chances are of you actually doing this?" And I looked at him without any hesitation, and it's like, it's 100%. Like, there's a 100% chance we're going to do this. There is zero chance of not doing this. Like, I'm already at the top of that mountain, and now I just have to run down.
Mm.
There's no chance we're not going to do it unless I'm not even going to say like unless because I'm not going to speak those words. Like there is zero chance of us not doing this. It's already happened. Time just hasn't caught up yet.
So that just reminded me, I'm preparing for our team business planning, and I'm talking about like crossing a threshold and like the difference between being decided and undecided. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I wrote down as a symptom that you're still undecided is that you talk about your goals, but you do not act or talk about them like they're inevitable. And that's what you just reminded me of. You're like, no, like this is actually like for sure happening. There's not like, this isn't like something I'm like gonna try out. Like I'm doing it and I'm training for it. I'm preparing for it. I'm renting equipment for it. I'm doing all the things, and I think that when someone's undecided, they would see, or kind of like subconsciously undecided, they would use like costs or different things, like to prohibit them.
Yeah. Well,
They would allow those things to prohibit them.
and I think Phil spoke pretty clearly on that. He's like, I made the decision to do this marathon. There was nothing that was going to prevent me from doing it. I think there's a difference with people that have that mindset. When you set your mind to something, then you just like, it's not a question. Like, I'm doing this. There's nothing that will get in my way. Now, there's the reality of like, could things get in the way? Sure. But I don't believe in speaking about those things. The more we speak about things, the more likely they are to come real. So if I just continue to tell myself every single day, I'm already at the top now, I just got to get down. I'm already there. It's already happened. I envision myself at the bottom. Anybody can do the same with any type of goal you have. The more we believe in ourselves when we set a goal, the more likely it is to happen.
Yeah. Okay, friends. I mean, we started this conversation. We were going to talk about our goals, and we just had to like go on this very important, I'm not even going to call it rabbit trail because this is a huge deal. We are amidst a world record holder. So you just listened to a podcast. I mean, let's just be real here. Brendan Burchard, he's cool. Ed Milet, super awesome. But do they hold world records? I don't think so. So, Ryan, thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that we took time to talk about this amazing goal, and I'm sorry that I just was already so enamored with the idea that you were climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, so I just was like, wow, that's crazy, that we didn't actually take like a ton of time to sit down and like actually talk to you. So we're gonna revisit this, check in on his progress in the new year. This is happening in March. Thank you for listening. I hope that this did something. I hope you didn't tune out because you're like, I'm never going to climb a mountain. I think that you can pull some really important and impactful principles from Ryan and how he's thinking about this and apply them to what is applicable in your life. And I hope it helps you think bigger, think in possibility, focus on your language. And I just appreciate you, Ryan. You inspire us. And I hope everyone feels more inspired after listening to this on this fine Tuesday morning, or whenever you're listening. But that's when the episodes come out. Ryan, final thoughts. Close us out.
Well, Jacqueline, I think everybody has their own mountain, whether it's a physical, actual mountain or just a metaphorical mountain. We all have dreams that we thought of when we were a kid. And at some point, maybe somebody called us crazy for these dreams, but why not shoot for them? Why not become a pilot or run a marathon or sell X amount of houses or run the business that you want to run? Or there's so many things that we are so far more capable than we believe. But if we never sign up to do it, we'll never know. So go sign up for that thing. The money will come. Don't worry about the money. Just put yourself out there. The money will come when you are determined to do some great things in the life. So yeah, I'm excited, Jacqueline. And thank you for encouraging me to share this and talk about this. And I'll keep you updated on the training and updated on everything. When we finish it, this podcast will be one of the first people to know.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you on the next episode. Follow Ryan on Instagram, Ryan Park Greigg, myself, Jacqueline Ray Smith. Check out all of our other podcasts at winmakegive.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.